I want to play a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu's response, which there's a lot in this. I don't know if you've heard it yet.
I've read it. I haven't heard him actually.
Okay, so reading it, I'm sure you got a lot more. Let's play a little bit for the audience, and then we'll discuss it.
In a speech ostensibly about peace between Israelis and Palestinians, Secretary Kerry paid lip service to the unremitting campaign of terrorism that has been waged by the Palestinians against the Jewish state for nearly a century. What he did was to spend most of his speech blaming Israel for the lack of peace by passionately condemning a policy of enabling Jews to live in their historic homeland and in their eternal capital, Jerusalem. We have it on absolutely incontestable evidence that the United States organized.
Actually, I want to pause it there. Let's discuss that much. Where basically he dismissed everything that John Kerry said and said he was a terrorist apologist. You know, if I was to summarize it, I get politicians do this. But to me, this just seemed completely insane. What was your take on it?
I take him to be speaking to a certain piece of the political spectrum, right, which includes mostly the American right, center right, but also a giant swath of the Jewish world, right? And what he's saying to them, and I really do think there's he's saying one thing to one person and one thing to somebody else, right? When I hear that, and I think of what otherwise rather liberal American Jews are hearing, what he's saying is that yet again, right, when everybody has problems, every part of the world has human rights abuses and all sorts of misdeeds. All of a sudden, when you've got Assad doing this, and you've got Palestinian terrorists doing this, and you've got the Chinese pressing the Tibetans, and you've got the Russians invading Ukraine, right? What does John Kerry get up? He talks about the Jews, right? This is a sensitivity, right, that exists on the part of Jews across the world. Right, the idea that that they're going to be focused on for their misdeeds when everybody else gets a pass, right? And again, I'm saying this is what I think he's saying.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
When you look at the UN vote, right, the 14 to 0 to 1 vote, right, a lot of Jews, American Jews, people look at that and they say, really, the Russians?
Yeah.
I mean, really, like they're talking about occupied lands, and they're fighting, they're invading sovereign countries.
That was the one good take from this that I think was worth doubling down on, is the fact that you've had a lot of Jewish observants and basically call Russia out for this. Right. Russia is on this side. Like, Russia, it would have been better for Russia just to abstain themselves, but they took this opportunity to talk about human rights and to talk about, occupation.
Yeah, this is it is in a classic form of anti-Semitism. I am not saying that John Kerry was being anti-Semitic. He was not being anti-Semitic. That is my position. He is not being anti-Semitic.
Right.
But one way of defining anti-Semitism, which is powerful and needs to be understood historically, is that it often comes in the form of looking at a fault, having it exist in a lot of people, and somebody saying, yes, but we're only talking about the Jews. Right? So historical arguments trying to get Jews out of American colleges because, quote unquote, Jews cheat. Which they do. Jews cheat, Muslims cheat, the Christians cheat. Everybody cheats, right? But the response being, we're talking about Jews now. That's the anti-Semitism, right? And that is an historical force that's been very powerful. And that is how people hear it often in the United States and across the world when they see this as sort of a signaling out of Israel. I mean, where that goes, where the mistake is there is that this is a case in which Jews are empowered.
Right.
That's where it's different. Right, those Jews who are sitting at the university being accused of cheating when, in fact, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but the Protestant guy next to him who did isn't. That person's disempowered.
Okay.
Right, Israel is in a position here where they can make responsible decisions. They have a blockbuster army. Right, they have a tremendously strong economy. They have security in most of the ways that you would want. Not every way.
Yeah.
They are in a position of strength. That's why they're being they're not being. Right, they're not being picked out because they're Jews in this case. They're being picked out because they're the stronger partner, right? And they're the ones who could take actions or at least try to mitigate future problems.
All right, let's buckle up because we're gonna dig in there.